Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is Star Trek Magellan, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition actual play podcast. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode. It is the early 22nd century, 4 years after the founding of the United Federation of Planets. 5 years since the end of the Earth-Romulan War. Starfleet has renewed their mission of peaceful exploration. But something has gone terribly wrong at Cradle Station, a research outpost on the edge of Federation space. The crew is dead, its lead scientist missing. The USS Magellan's mission? Unravel the mystery of Cradle Station and boldly go where no one has gone before. So Ed is sporting a goatee. He's sort of like the evil Spock in the Mirror Universe. I like it. I like it. So we have, let's start with Ed, since we've already started with Ed. Ed, you're playing who again? Remind us who you are.
I am playing Chief Medical Officer Scott Travis. Yeah.
And you're a human.
I'm a human, yes.
And your rank is Lieutenant Junior Grade?
Lieutenant Junior Grade, that's correct.
Right, okay. And Douglas.
Yes.
Hello. Who are you playing?
Hello. Chief Engineer Stephen Rhodes, who is the same rank as the Doctor, but older.
And then we have, of course, our captain, Tony.
Captain reports in, so Karthazareth.
Captain Karthazareth. I like the way you say it better. And we're missing our science officer, Carmelo. He could not make it today, but he will be with us again for the rest of our episodes. And actually, before we begin, Tony, why don't you give us the captain's log?
Yeah, of course. Captain's log, stardate 114.6. Cradle Station's crew died after exposure to a genetic sample in quantum superposition. The monolith they uncovered carried a warning from a lost civilization that searched the stars for life, and might have been destroyed by what answer? My chief science officer is sedated in sickbay after making contact with an entity I believe is connected to the DNA fragment. We are en route to Corella IV to find Dr. Korby. But a distress call from the mining facility at the Earth suggests Cradle Station was only the beginning.
So I would like to ask the captain if I could take the transporters offline for a couple of days to run like a diagnostic through like the whole thing.
I'm in my captain's ready room, perhaps recording my log, viewing some documents.
We're doing this properly. Okay, then I guess I will buzz your door.
Yes. You might come in?
Yeah. Captain, have you got a minute?
Sure. What's on your mind?
I'd like permission to take the transporters offline for like a day or two to run like a full diagnostic through them.
What's the reason?
Based on like, you saw my report on the scanner and that sort of thing. And the Doctor, we don't know necessarily if that body was anything related to the thing going on in the scanner. But when the Doctor beamed up the body, it technically, the body was converted into like the sort of matter stream and then came up and then was run through like all our systems when it was in the pattern buffer and through both transporters. I want to just like make sure that it hasn't done anything to our own systems, like when we converted that body into like data, if that makes sense.
Okay, so do you want to have thorough tests of the systems? Will that hamper any other systems on the ship, or it's just that?
It shouldn't do, but we're having all sorts of issues with like the integrated technology at the moment. Like, we've got the Andorian shield generators, the computer system comes from like Vulcan, other bits are from like Tellarite and that sort of thing. So I can't say that because random things are just kind of happening anyway while we're trying to get this stuff together. But in theory, it shouldn't affect anything apart from they'll be offline for a while. But we're just a warp, so
Yeah, I'm just wondering, let's say that are they going to be offline fully, or can you get them back up if I need to use them?
Unfortunately, we'll probably have to take stuff apart to go and scan it with the hand scanners. So it's not going to be particularly easy to shove it all back together.
So it's more than just some tests. You're going to disassemble the transporters.
Well, we're going to have to take parts out and scan them separately from the pattern buffer to make sure there's nothing going on. It's not quite as thorough as a level 1 diagnostic where we'd just be taking everything apart.
And you are sure that this is absolutely necessary to do?
It would set my mind at ease that we weren't all going to be blasted out into space, or something was just going to change the air to nitrogen or pure oxygen or something like that on a whim.
Can you do it in 2 days? I want to be ready when we get to the mining station. I don't want to have any hiccups. And if you tell me a few hours before we drop out of warp that this is not going to work and we need to rescue people from the mining station, I'm not going to like it. So can you do it in 48 hours?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can get that done.
Okay, if necessary, I'll agree that you requisition extra people if you need so, okay? But I want it ready in 48 hours. Do we agree?
Yes, I understand, Captain.
Very well. You're dismissed.
Yeah. I'll leave. Get started on that.
Okay. So, Dr. Travis.
Yes, sir.
We're going to change scenes here to the sickbay. So, shortly after your science officer, Lev Maris, was assisting the communications officer in providing all the data that you had collected from Cradle Station to transfer to Starbase 12 upon the captain's orders, he started acting strange. It looked like he was hallucinating. You sedated him and brought him to sickbay to monitor him, and you've been looking at his medical records. You've been meaning to sort of catch up on the crew's medical history. And as you're looking through his records, you're checking out the documentation about his ESP. It doesn't mention anything about telepathy.
Okay.
So the fact that he was conversing with some entity...
It's not normal.
It's not normal. That most likely was not his doing. So that's something of note. And then it's a couple of, maybe an hour goes by, he's sedated, you're going through his records. There's a notice that the transporters are offline because the engineer is running detailed maintenance. And then there is an announcement over the loudspeakers for the senior staff to assemble in the briefing room for a communique from Commodore Travis at Starbase 12. Commodore Travis would be your father.
Oh, Dad, great. Well, I will make sure that my patient is all fine in the biobed and is hooked up to the cortical scanners and a neural interface just to kind of monitor all his brainwaves. And I will leave him and make my way to where I need to go.
Okay. So, in this scene, we're in the briefing room of the Magellan, which is just off the main bridge. You're all seated at the conference table, and on the large view screen in the front of the room is Commodore Travis in his office at Starbase 12, and he has a solemn look on his face. Captain, we've repositioned our long-range probes to give us a glimpse of what you're getting into. There are no vessels in the Corella system, none that our probes can detect at any rate. As far as we know, the incursion is happening within the city itself. But from where and by whom is uncertain. What we do know is that the attack has compromised the city's superstructure. When you arrive, you will have roughly 5 hours to evacuate 600 miners and their families before the city falls out of the sky. And then he pushes a button, and his image is replaced by this grainy shot from the probes showing you Cressida City, which is this sprawling domed city suspended high above the clouds of the planet. And smoke is billowing from various districts, and you can see sort of the flickers of fires raging across the platforms. And then over that image, the Commodore's voice hardens. Find out what the hell is going on over there, Captain. But let me stress to you in no uncertain terms, your mission is to save lives. We can ill afford another war. I am sending all available ships to assist you in the evacuation. I'm afraid they won't reach you for another 2 hours once you have arrived. Starbase 12, out.
Dr. Travis, you will have to prepare the sick bay and prepare as much space as possible. We don't know what their conditions are. Do you have enough personnel to help you out in case we have severe injury?
I've got 3. I'm going to probably need to requisition some ensigns or non-coms to kind of help with triage.
Also,
Yeah, and you'll probably need to repurpose a cargo bay or 2.
Yeah. So I'm already thinking, as my dad was kind of going through all the kind of scenario, I was thinking about triaging and putting sort of various things in place. So my brain is already kind of going to that. I kind of figure that we're going to need someone who's going to be able to coordinate the effort from the ground while I stay and, I guess, coordinate the effort from here.
yeah. And Mr. Rhodes, you heard Commander. You're going to have the transporter needs to be ready. It's good that you're going to finish in a few hours, right?
We'll probably not finish, but I can certainly start putting everything back together now. But
Make sure that it's in perfect shape. I'm also wondering if we should, the shuttle pods, can we make them lighter? How much space can we get them?
So your ship has 2 shuttle pods, and they're built for 2 crew, and there are fold-out chairs in the back that can accommodate 6 passengers.
What is the rate of the transporter? How many people can we bring over?
1, maybe 4 at a time. If we get both the transporters going, maybe like 8 at a time. But they need time to like cool down after each transport.
Would there be any other way that we can dock with the city and let people in?
It's a floating cities, right?
Yeah.
Like, in theory, we could take the ship in atmosphere. It's been done.
Yeah, it would be a little tricky, but it's not out of the realm of impossible.
Would that be possible? Can we connect it safely in a way that we have put enough connections so people can just walk in?
Yeah, we've got like docking ports, but it'd be holding the ship in position in the atmosphere. It's not really made for that sort of thing.
Okay, so I'm making you responsible to finish the transporters. We might not need them, but just in case we need them, have them ready. And think about how we can have this connection and personnel on site that can help them come through in an orderly fashion so we have no injured. And I guess, Dr. Travis, perhaps it would be good that you are right there also to bring them in and kind of triage as you were thinking already. Who is injured, who can go to the cargo base. I want everything to run very smoothly.
You still have the 3 days before you arrive. So if you wanted Douglas to continue with the transporter diagnostic, you could, if again you can finish within like 48 hours the way the captain suggested. But so 2 hours after you arrive, other ships should be in the system to assist you because you don't have enough space to accommodate 600 people. Your ship can hold a crew of 132, so you can
maybe 200 at a push.
Yeah, you can push that to accommodate some passengers and things like that in an emergency, but you won't be able to house 600 people. There just isn't any space.
No, I know.
So those other ships will be key.
I know. I just want to make sure that we take as many as possible. Just whatever happens, if we need to squeeze, if we need to, I don't know, even jettison some cargo that we are not going to need that we can refill later on, on Starfleet, we'll do so. So basically make a space and we figure it out later how we refill our reserves of whatever we need. I think people are more important than whatever we have in our cargo base or whatever other space people need to squeeze.
And also that Corella IV is a deuterium-rich world. So the mining facility on its surface is dedicated to extracting that ore, and then the deuterium is transported to Cressida, the city above in the clouds, and that's where the refinement process takes place. And so their mining operation is critical to the Federation's expansion in this sector, as it serves as the primary source of refined deuterium. And deuterium is needed to support fleets of starships. So without it, there would be months-long delays in providing deuterium shipments to Starbase 12, which would delay and weaken the Federation's ability to secure and develop this sector.
They have the stuff from the surface. They take it up to the refinery. How does the stuff get from the surface to the refinery? Is it by like ship?
Yeah.
Cargo haulers?
Yeah.
So they have these haulers. Could we use the haulers to take people as well as the shuttle pods up into like space?
You could.
Because that would give us like more stuff going on.
Yes.
Okay, there's another idea.
So what did you guys want to do for the next 3 days?
Yes, for me, I'll start prepping the cargo spaces and the med bay, make sure that we take a full inventory of all the equipment that we have, meds, the usual sort of stuff, and then also look at alternative medicines if we've got any of that sort of stuff. I know Shax is a Denobulan, and his way of doing things is slightly different to mine. He's got sort of like alternative treatments with bugs and creatures and stuff. So whatever we can do to sort of kind of bring all that together and essentially take stock of it all and sort of like start putting up together, dare I say be boring, and put sort of like a triage plan in place, look at all the risk factors, etc., etc.
Okay. Do you want to give me we can make a trait here that will be beneficial to you if you can succeed in a medical task. So let's see here.
Well, let's have a look. I've got...
I'm going to say daring.
Uh-oh.
and daring in medicine, right? Because you're sort of working under the gun here.
I guess Chief Medical Officer is a talent of mine. Maybe that might apply. So I guess that you reduce your opportunity to cost of medical equipment and medical teams by 1. So I guess if I'm looking at getting ready to arrange everything... Maybe, is that I could blag that?
That would be for, let's see, that would be for doing opportunity cost, which doesn't apply to the task here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got emergency medicine, which is the ability to work in a trauma unit, emergency room, or other kind of immediate care. So I'm guessing the ability to kind of organize and arrange that. So that's one of my focuses.
That works.
I suppose.
Use that. So your difficulty is going to be 2.
Cool. Do I want to use a point of momentum? Anybody have a problem with me using a point of momentum?
There's no momentum yet.
Yeah,
there's no
generating yet.
I have to generate something. That's a good point. Okay, well, good old-fashioned roll then. So I'm using one of my focuses, and we'll just roll. So I got 1 success.
1 success and no momentum. No,
nothing.
Okay, so you've gotten sick bay as ready as it can possibly be. You've had some non-coms clear out the cargo bays. So the hallways are now stacked with all of these crates and stuff, and so you've got some cargo bays ready to, if needed, to house the miners and their families and any injured people and things of that nature. So you're about as ready as you can be. Your sick bay is not a large sick bay.
No, I was just got 2 or 3 beds or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So you feel like you're as ready as you could be. You feel like you probably could have done. You're probably missing something, but with what you have available, you've done the best you can possibly do.
Okay, and that seems. I mean, as long as I feel like I've done as much as I possibly can, then I'm happy with that, prepared to do that. And that probably will take me, 2 days or so?
Yeah, especially clearing out the cargo bays and organizing all of these various people to help you out and get everything ready and get all the medicines and the first aid kits and all of that prepared. You've got like a station by the airlock. If you guys are able to dock with the city, then you've got someone there who can start triaging people and be like, okay, this guy just needs a Band-Aid, but this guy has to go into surgery, kind of a thing. You've got that ready. Mr. Stephen Rhodes, shall we tinker with the transporter for a little bit?
Because I kind of want to know that the transporter is not affected before we have to use it like a lot.
Yes.
If it is compromised, we may just accidentally compromise and kill a lot of people or do something horrible. So I've got 2 days to figure this out, if there is any.
Exactly, you've got 2 days.
So if I haven't figured it out by 2 days, I'm just going to start reassembling on the 3rd, even if I haven't figured it out.
Okay. So let's see, how about a control and engineering task for me?
Sure, I can work with that. I would like to use my percussive maintenance talent, which allows me to pay you 1 threat to convert that to a daring task.
Oh, very nice.
And it also reduces the amount of time by an interval, so it takes less time to do it.
I love it.
So you can have 1 threat. I see you've already given yourself 1 threat. So now it is a daring task rather than a control task because I'm cutting corners.
Your difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay. Just trying to think I'm just seeing if the chief engineer talent gives me anything that's reasonable.
No, it only applies to an opportunity cost.
Yeah, but would bringing in the team affect the task, if that makes sense? If I buy that opportunity, which costs 0, I assume, because they're just there.
Let's see. You reduce the opportunity cost of engineering teams by 1 to a minimum of 0. Further, when you attempt a task to perform repairs to a starship or attempt to push the ship's capabilities beyond its normal limits, you may spend 1 momentum to reroll a d20.
Having an engineering team is going to create some sort of benefit.
Yes.
Hence why you... Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say that reduces your difficulty to 1.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
No, you know what? Let's have them roll an assist die. So roll 3 dice instead of 2.
So let's roll 3 dice, and we need 2 successes.
You have 2 momentum. You have 4 successes.
Okay.
So you've spent the next 2 days with your team crawling through the transporter machinery, the conduits, and you are certain that if that frequency, if that alien device or whatever it was on the planet wanted to co-opt your transporter, it probably could if it could match the frequency of your transport.
But has it?
But you saw no evidence. You found no evidence that it has done that.
So everything is still up to spec?
Everything is up to spec, like it just came off of the assembly line.
I can't think of any sort of like momentum spends I want to do on this because I don't want to reroll anything, and can't think of any additional questions relating to this, so I think I'll just dump the rest of the momentum into the pool for now. So
okay.
I think what, 2 momentum is it?
Yeah, there's 2 momentum in the pool, yep.
Because we might need that when things start going dangerous. Also, one thing that is bothering me at the end of the mind is that Commodore guy.
Yes.
He mentioned like there was a risk of war if we failed.
Well, they don't know who's attacking the facility, and
he said like if you don't succeed, this could be like an outbreak of war, but he never clarified on what exactly that meant.
Right. Well, no, he said he wanted to stress to the captain, the 2 of them have a history from the Romulan War. He wanted to stress to the captain that his mission is to save lives because they can ill afford another war. So regardless of whoever is attacking and why, he wants you guys to get those people out of there and to safety.
Right. So that's a whole level of thing that Steve Rhodes did not get because he does not know this history about the captain. So he's like, that was a weird remark.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you want, you can actually probably dig through some Starfleet records if you have a minute to like learn about.
I'm too busy. I don't care. I was just like that. They were being a bit weird to each other. I'm too busy to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's the Battle of Varka 3 is sort of what Commodore Travis was referencing. So at some point, if you wanted to look that up, if you have a minute, we could go there. So, Captain, what are you doing in the next 3 days?
I will just make sure that everything is going perfectly. I will be helping people around the ship to organize things. So I'm going to be very hands-on, being one of the team, just making sure that we make the proper space for everyone might need, making a space perhaps in the mess hall, the cargo rooms, helping, not really commanding anybody, just making sure that things get done. And, if I have to lift things, move things, get my hands dirty, I will do so. And in the spare time that I have on the site, I will try to see if I can get the schematics of the mining facility, how is the city on the clouds, and kind of get, some strategic vision of what we are dealing with, how many people, how many floors, how many cargoes, whatever that might give me an edge on the moment of need. And if I need to do something that is not expected, I want to have all the information in my brain.
Okay. So maybe give me a control and command roll. Your difficulty will be 2.
1 success, but with complication.
1 success with a complication. I think I'm going to bank that for now. So I'll add threat to the pool. So you've walked the decks, spoken to your crew, sort of helped them and directed them to utilize the mess hall and the recreation room and any other non-essential piece of the ship to convert it to house miners and their families from Cressida City. And then also you've spent some time perhaps in the ready room or in your quarters over these next 3 days studying the map of the city and the facility on the ground. But the information on the ground operation is practically nil. There's almost nothing there about how many people are on the ground at any given time mining the deuterium. All of that information is not there.
Okay, got it.
So the Magellan drops out of warp and moves into the solar system. Your navigator punches up Corella IV on the main viewer. You can see that its surface is veiled in thick cloud cover, and above those clouds is the floating city of Cressida, and it's listing like a wounded leviathan. Fires are burning across the city, smoke is trailing into the sky, and beneath the city, the air is churning with an electrical disturbance, and rippling distortion is crackling with tendrils of energy. What do you do?
Crew, we're approaching the city. What we have been training for the last 3 days is going to be tested today. We don't know what situation we are getting into, and I know that this might get dangerous. We don't know what we are facing. We have limited intel. I know you'll do the best, and you have been working very hard. This is your captain. I will make sure that we get this done properly and that we get out of here and save these people. We are going to have reinforcements in 2 hours, so we need to hold and help as many people as possible. I expect the best of you. Thank you. Okay. And then I will ask my navigator to approach the city. Chief Engineer, are we ready with the connections? Please help our navigator to approach the proper connection area for docking procedure.
Out to the docking port.
Thank you so much. Chief Medical Officer, get ready.
Captain, everything is ready for receiving anyone who is wounded, and I have ensigns ready to send anyone who is not wounded to some cargo bays, which have been set up for such.
Excellent. Let's proceed.
Yes, sir.
Ed, would you like to roll for the navigator for me?
Sure. Our navigator is...
Jancom. He's a Tellarite.
Yep. What would you like him to roll?
Control plus con, please.
Yep. Anything that would help me? No, I don't think so. I think that is pretty much just a straightforward roll.
Is this to, navigate down, or is this to actually maneuver?
So he's plotting the course to dock with the city, and then the helm officer is going to pilot.
I was just making sure that it wasn't piloted. So, yes, his focuses are still not relevant. Fair enough.
No, not quite yet. Okay, right, I'll make a roll. Let's have a look, see how he does. Oh, 2 successes.
Wonderful. So, who wants to roll for Sarah Holtz, the helms officer?
I'd like to do so.
How about Tony? Yeah. So, Tony, give me a daring and a con roll, please.
Then a con roll. Okay.
And you can use the helm operations focus. And because of the navigator's success, your difficulty has been reduced from 3 to 2.
Perfect. So, there you go. Very good. Very good.
Okay. So the Magellan has moved into the atmosphere. It's not really a ship that's meant to, land on planets. It's not really meant to spend a long time flying in the atmosphere. So it's shaking a bit. You guys are, shaking in your chairs, but you maneuver the ship and you dock with Cressida City, and you're keeping the ship steady with the city as best you can. Since the city is, sort of shaking apart, the ship itself is a little shaky as well.
Pen comes to the city.
This is Administrator Phillips. Took your slow, sweet time getting here, Starfleet.
We did as fast as we could. We are ready and dock. We heard that you had some trouble. Can you give dock operation? It's ready. You can start bringing people, but I would appreciate a status report to know what we are dealing with. Thank you.
We're going to need help down here. We've got creatures running amok through the city, attacking civilians. The way to the transport pads are blocked by them, and also the docking port needs to be clear. We don't have much of a standing combat force here. We're a mining city.
Are you blocked to access our ship? That's what you're trying to tell me. You cannot reach us at this moment with these creatures.
Correct.
We have a transporter at the ready, so we can beam some people if you are in a safe location. Can we use the transporters at this moment?
I suppose you could. I mean, I'm not the engineer of your ship.
Very well, Asha. Please help on the transporter. Armory officer, chief engineer, chief medical officer, come with me. We're gonna get into the city.
So you want me to come along?
Yes, please.
Okay. In which case I'll hand everything over to Shax to kind of lead this side.
So, are you beaming over, or are you taking the docking port?
No, we are going through the dock, and okay. I'm requesting another of the science people to basically start beaming people up, because I'm guessing they can detect life forms or life that are not these creatures, and then basically beam everybody who is humanoid to the ship.
So, you move through the docking arm, And you've come out of the docking port into this main sort of plaza area. There's this park in the middle with some greenery and columns and a reflecting pool. And then there are evacuees that are on the other end that are trying to get to the docking port, but they're blocked by these tentacled creatures.
So where is, I'm guessing I came with the chief's armory officer or security officer and some extra people that are actually should be helping us to get through.
Okay. So you have some security officers here.
Sorry, I'm going to ask you a very game-related question. How do we get supporting characters into a scene in this game?
Excellent question. Your ship has a crew support value of 3, which means that you can bring in up to 3 supporting characters into a scene. If that supporting character is of like a senior staff level, then that costs 2.
Okay.
All right. So if you wanted to bring the chief armory officer, that would cost you 2 of your 3. And then you could bring 1 other person.
Okay.
We bring the armory officer and 1 more.
Okay, so we've changed scenes and we've lost our momentum. So you have no momentum now. So you've just come out of the other end of the docking arm. You're in this plaza. There are these tentacled creatures preventing the miners and their families trying to desperately to get to that docking arm.
So I'm gonna probably ask to move out like rapidly. So that would mean to move 2 as much as we can, and to basically to spread out in the sense meaning that we have 2 on one side, 3 on the other side, because there are 2 creatures on one side and 3 on the other one. So basically to kind of spread out, and I will try to split us because I know that perhaps Ed is not the best shooter. So perhaps Ed should be with one of the security,
because he's a doctor.
How dare you, sir? How dare you, sir?
I don't know. So I would perhaps recommend Scott, Dr. Travis to go with Keval.
And the left-hand side.
And you go left, and I will take Henry, myself, and Rhodes on the right.
Okay, so classic Star Trek question. Are you having your people set their phasers to stun or
no?
kill?
That's a good question. How do these creatures look like?
They're just tentacles. They're tentacled creatures.
Do I think that
H.P. Lovecraft?
No, my question is more: do I feel or I think that they are intelligent, or that they are anything that is not just a ravenous creature?
They're acting like ravenous creatures. Whether they're intelligent or not is you can't really tell in this moment.
I mean, taking into consideration the difficulty and I not knowing if they are going to be stunned with other things, I will go deadly. So I'll ask everyone to go deadly.
Okay, so that adds 1 to my threat pool. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Marco was like, at the start of the scene, I always get the opportunity to make a free question due to my talent. From what I can see, what do they appear to be doing to the people? Are they just like trying to like latch on, or are they like swiping? Like, what are they doing to the evacuees?
Yeah, so they are striking them with their tentacles, and you notice that any inorganic material that those tentacles touch turns to mush.
Lovely.
Interesting. I will point that out to my compatriots.
Yeah, we're going that way. So yeah, let's go.
So this is how initiative works. So we'll say the captain goes first. So captain, go ahead and move your guy 2 spaces. Now you have a minor action that you can take.
I will go behind the column and aim at one of the creatures.
Okay, so now this is the way initiative works. So now the initiative switches to the adversaries. However, you can spend 2 momentum to maintain the initiative and give it to another player. Since you don't have any momentum, you can give me threat if you want to do that.
No.
Okay, so one of these creatures has attacked one of the miners and has just sort of like enveloped him in all of his tentacles, and you can hear the guy screaming, and you can see whatever gear that he has on, his clothing is just deteriorating. Next will be, let's say, the good doctor goes next.
Yeah, I mean, I can see they're in trouble, so I am going to also run the 2, but I'm going to run there straight across. I'm not going to take a minor action other than to sort of, I guess, prepare for something else. So maybe I might be taking out my phaser or something.
Okay. And again, these creatures are moving in closer and attacking the evacuees. Douglas.
Okay, so they're just still moving in. So the captain wanted me with him, right? That was what you said, Tony?
Precisely.
Okay, so then I will go with him. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything particular because I think I might try and like flank around the edge.
Okay. So now these creatures have noticed you, And 1 moves into this zone with the good doctor. That's his minor action. And 4, his major action.
Damn it, Admiral. A doctor, not a combat security officer.
He set the line. Check off the bingo.
Scott is currently trying to figure out, right, it's been a while since he's done his security training. So he's bringing all that knowledge he can possibly think of to bear. But he's not really had a lot of...
You might have missed the day where it was tentacle monsters.
Yeah, I missed Tentacle Monster Day.
So I'm going to spend a point of threat for an extra die.
Run away!
I have 3 successes. I only needed 2, so that's an extra threat.
What does this mean?
For me, so this means now that you take an injury, and I'm going to spend that extra threat to increase the damage. So you either take an injury, which means that you're defeated, so you're out of the scene, or you can take 5 stress.
Oh, I guess
You keep the injury, but you're still in the action. You're not defeated.
I'll take the 5 stress, please, sir.
Make a note that you have an injury, and we'll figure out what that is at a later moment.
So what did it do to him?
It struck him with its tentacles.
Wouldn't have that been a melee attack?
It was a melee attack. Yeah, they're in the same zone.
But that would be opposed, right? Because he could see it coming.
I'm sorry, I totally screwed the pooch.
That's right.
Let's do that again. So since it's an opposed roll, that means Ed, you roll first. So you're going to roll daring and security.
Daring and security. Yep. I just make a performed task. I've got nothing really. Composure. I want to go and save the people. So maybe I kind of would that be a good enough blag that it's coming towards me, and I'm kind of like thinking about like all the training and stuff. So I kind of try and keep myself composed.
Yes.
I go that and roll. No.
Oh, no. Okay.
This made me worse, Ed.
Thanks. That's what I like to see. It was a complication and a success. So no. So everything else stands. That's easy. Do I get 1 more damage, though?
No, 5 stress is fine.
Cool. Put my arm up to kind of shield myself from the thing, and I kind of guess it goes across my left arm and my shoulder and whatever it does to my uniform.
The complication. Ooh, no. Your medical tricorder has been knocked on the ground. It's fizzling and bubbling and melting. It's totally useless. That was the complication. So let's have Caval change tactics here. And now that he's seen the doctor get attacked, he, from where he stands, shoots at this creature. So I'll let one of you guys make that roll.
Do it. I feel bad for the doctor.
So that would be a control security with a difficulty of 2.
Correct.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. And since the phasers have been set to kill, you have disintegrated this creature. It's gone. So Ed, right in front of you, these tentacles just lashed out at you. Your tricorder was knocked off your waist, and the metal is all smoldering and melting, and then from over your shoulder, an energy beam hits the creature, and it just disintegrates in front of you.
I shout thanks, and then I go and hide behind the nearest column that's in the park.
Okay, so we have another tentacled creature here for one of his actions. He moved a zone into the zone with Captain Carr and Stephen Rhodes, and he is going to attack the captain.
It's opposed, no, I guess.
Yes, it is opposed.
So control and security?
Daring and security.
Daring and security. I don't know if they have a focus that they can use for this.
Lead by example? I like that one.
Yeah, I guess. Can I just, lead by example, just by shooting and, defending myself and motivating you to fight.
I'll allow it. 3 successes. I'm spending a point of threat to roll an extra die.
Really want to kill the captain.
He fails. So he lashes out with his tentacles and misses you completely. You are definitely leading by example.
Tony? So you may either move out of reach or spend 2 momentum to counterattack, inflicting an injury upon the enemy. So you can spend 2 momentum to
I'm going to use momentum to inflict an injury. I think I will jump back and then shoot him in the face with my laser.
Okay.
In the tentacle.
Now, Douglas, the way that's worded, it sounds like the injury just automatically happens, right?
We had this really long discussion a while back. I think we said because he's already succeeded, it counts as...
Right.
It's just, he spends 2 momentum to get the injury.
Yep. So you've killed this creature. He's just disintegrated in front of you.
Okay. So from here, I will take aim and shoot because I can shoot from this distance.
Yes, you can. So that is a control plus security task. Your difficulty is 2. You're going to need 2 successes.
It's not daring?
No, daring is for melee.
Okay. I will just move a little, I just move a little. I mean, it's not real. I'm in the same zone, but I'm kind of positioning myself and I'm leading the charge and I'm saying, let's go. And I take aim at the other creature remaining and I shoot at it. 3 successes.
Okay, so you have 1 momentum. And this creature has also been disintegrated. Ed, why don't you give me a roll for Mr. Henry Blank?
Will do for Mr. Henry Blank.
That's a daring plus security.
Yep. Daring plus security. Hopefully he's good at this. Yes, he is. He has hand phases as a focus, so I guess I'll use that.
No, this is melee.
Oh, it's melee. Okay. In that case, he won't. I'll just roll to hit. 2 successes.
Nice. So you get 1 momentum in the pool. So you have 2 momentum now. And he will go focus... Spending threat.
Jeez, that's a lot of dice.
1 success.
A lot of dice for 1 success from the creature. Okay, so you can spend 2 momentum to counterattack if you want.
I want to do that.
Go for it.
Instantly give him it would instantly give him an injury, which would... Okay, so you spend that momentum. And this creature has been disintegrated.
Hey!
I believe it is the good doctor's turn.
Yeah. So the doctor, seeing that the evacuees are now free, I basically look around from behind the column, see that they're free, and I run as fast as I can towards the evacuees. Because my first priority is making sure they are safe.
Probably Keval will help Steve.
Yeah, I'm still fighting for my life here.
Would say move closer, I guess, and shoot.
He's going to move over 1 zone so that his risk of shooting Steve is minimized, and then he will shoot. Who wants to roll for Keval?
I will do it. Can I use hand phasers? It's a focus that he has.
Yes.
1, 2 die, I guess. Oopsie.
Oh, no.
2 20s. Oh my gosh.
Melee, though.
Oh my gosh. This is the weirdest thing ever.
If his phaser wasn't set to kill, I would have Stephen Rhodes get hit, but I would hate to disintegrate Stephen Rhodes on episode 3.
I mean,
I think Ed would if he was GMing. But,
he might be set. It might be set to kill, but not disintegrate. If that makes sense, those are 2 different settings. Because disintegrate's when you turn it to max, but kill is not. You can kill on a lot less than max.
Right.
Maybe something happens to the phaser. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that his phaser blows up in his hand. Keval is unconscious. Mr. Stephen Rhodes, give me a melee attack, please. Opposed roll. So you just hear this explosion go off to your side here, and you see out of the corner of your eye, Keval's phase pistol blew up in his hand, and he just falls to the ground unconscious. 1 success. Okay. Yep. 2 successes. So you can either take an injury, which would make you defeated, or you can suffer 4 stress.
Well, I've got 9 stress, so I can totally afford to take 4 stress. No problem.
Okay. But you still have the injury, which will sort of just write that down somewhere. And so his tentacles, lash out at you, ripping your uniform, and parts of the uniform are smoldering a little bit. There's some sort of corrosive element to their tentacles. And it is now, I believe, I lost track. It's either your turn or it's the captain's turn.
Is it
It's the end of the
captain was first. Turn. Then we went.
Then creatures, then doctor, then.
I think it might actually be my turn because doctor's already had it.
Yeah, I think it is your turn.
Okay.
I'm going to punch it in its tentacles.
You're going to shoot it, or are you going to punch it?
Punch it.
You heard me, Marco. I'm going to punch it.
Punch it in the tentacles. Look for its armpit. Which one? I don't know.
Except 3 successes on my punching. Off you go, tentacle thing.
Okay.
You didn't tell me that you learned Krav Maga.
I mean, I'm hoping you're using a very Star Trek-y, I hold both my hands in a fist and punch it on the side.
This Rhodes is like a roughnecker sort of rough guy. He's just brawling The sucker punched.
You've defeated this tentacled monster, this creature. It falls to the ground and it stops moving.
I punched it very hard.
You did. That was a cool maneuver. So, okay. So, Ed, would Scott Travis like to perform some first aid on these miners?
Indeed. Well, first of all, I look at them and realize that I do not have my medical scanner, but that's okay because I have got the field medicine, which means that when attempting any medicine tasks, you may ignore any increase in difficulty or complication for working without the proper tools or equipment. I'm used to kind of working with sort of without all the technology. And I am also a first responder. I don't know whether or not that will help when you attempt a first aid task during combat. I guess, is it during combat or not?
Well, combat is essentially over at this point.
Okay, right. Fair enough. That's fine. I won't bother with that then.
But, I mean, okay. It's still sort of, I mean, go ahead, continue with what you were saying, just so I can know.
So the first aid task during combat, the first die you purchase is free. Does that mean I get like a free?
It doesn't spend,
dice?
It doesn't cost you any momentum, correct?
Momentum. So essentially that I get to have as a base 3 dice. Further, you may always succeed, or I can always succeed at cost. With each complication you suffer, adding 1 to the difficulty later on. So I can save someone's life now, but later on in the story, it causes a problem.
So first aid is daring and medicine. Your difficulty is 2.
Yep, difficulty is 2. I get to have 3 dice. I've got emergency medicine for my focus. See what happens. Hooray! It's what I do. So I got 3 successes.
So you've successfully provided first aid to several of the evacuees. Now what would you like to do? All of you, the whole group.
Yeah, me, I will ask Henry I guess I will assess the situation. I will ask perhaps Henry to go help Keval. Because Keval I see him on the floor. So imagine something happened to him. And then I'll ask Steven to come with me and see what is the status report.
The scene ends with Captain Carr and Chief Engineer Rhodes stepping through the shattered doors of the administrative building to speak with Administrator Phillips. The camera pulls back and then sweeps across the battered plaza to the docking arm. Inside, Dr. Travis leads a line of evacuees, their faces drawn, their steps quickening as the Magellan airlock looms ahead. He glances back, counting heads. There's a sudden jolt of motion. We see Boots hammer the deck, its ensign blank, charging down the corridor with the injured armory officer slung over his shoulder. Make a hole, he shouts, weaving through the crowd. I need to get Kaval to sickbay.